Hello, everybody. Today we are celebrating episode 10. Episode 10, you guys, we are still on this journey. My goodness, like what, 20 days, technically, 19 days, all that stuff. But I am so excited that we are on episode 10. You guys, thank you so much for your support and literally riding with me since day one. I so appreciate you. I don't think this live is gonna be that long because all of a sudden, my belly is doing somersaults on me that I did not ask for. That is why I'm starting this late because I thought by 6 I would be better. Oh shit, this my chest, people, my chest. And I thought by 6 I will be better, but no, I'm not. I'm not at all. So if I feel any type of pressure, is either I'm going to keep you guys on hold or I'm just going to end the live altogether because yeah, I'm not good at getting sick, people. I'm a person that never gets sick. Not that I never, I do, but it's like once in a blue moon. I think in my entire life I can literally count how many times I've been sick. So that's how sick I get. And whenever I'm sick, my mom was the person that knew what to do. So clearly I was not paying attention because now when I'm sick, I'm like, okay, what did she used to do? And I'm like, I'm all over the place. And every time I think I'm healing something with a certain medication, only to find that I know I am reigniting something else. So clearly I've developed some allergies along the way as well because I've never been allergic to anything. So I think I'm attributing all of this to growing older. Let me tell you something. If you are in your 30s and coming towards the fourth floor, there will be days when you wake up in your 40s with injuries, and you will not know where these injuries are coming from. I'm talking when you went to bed and then you woke up the next morning, you have injuries that you cannot explain. You ask yourself, what was I fighting during the course of the night? And let me tell you something as well. You know, when you sit on the pan, and then the first probably thing that is going to come out is air. And then if you push way too hard, you will literally hear a bone go, and you're like, okay. I'm sure some days along the week, I'm going to suffer the consequences of that. That's being on the fourth floor, guys. I'm just letting you know. And the other thing as well that you see that randomly comes out of the blue, your intestines, they get soft. And I mean, like, you eat something, then you become regular, and your regularity becomes super regular. Like, I just came back from the bathroom. Why am I back? And you ask yourself all this sort of question. Anyways, let me not discuss you, but I'm just also preparing you if you are in your late 30s that these are the things that you must expect. So I'm going through that. That is why I am an hour late today. I thought I was gonna put the live for 5 as usual, but I was like, you know what? I'm not well. Let's do it 6. Maybe by 6 o'clock I'll be fine. No, 6 o'clock I'm still not fine. But anyways, without wasting much time, business partners, what's up, business partners? I see you coming in thick and fast. I highly appreciate you. And I also want to report to you guys that my watch hours are indeed growing. And I also want to say thank you for the views, especially from all of you who watch the live and then the people that watch the replay. You guys have done my channel such great grace that I've been looking for by posting what you call long form videos. Yes, somebody asked me, why is it that you're going live every single day, but you still upload 3 times a week? That's because, as I've mentioned, that the live stream has its own algorithm, and the long form videos has its own algorithm, just like Shorts has its own algorithm, as well as the community tab has its own algorithm. So I cannot neglect the long form video algorithm and only focus on being live and feeding the live stream algorithm, because when I go back, when I'm done with this challenge, I would have to reconvince the long form algorithm from scratch Who would have thought that I was no longer consistent? So that is why I upload during the week, 3 times a week, just like I always have uploaded 3 times a week, except for that week when I thought I was taking a break. But in fact, no, I turned out to come back very, very quickly. It was a very short stint of a break. But even in that break, I was busy batch filming. Like I said, I batch film all my videos for months to come, usually like 3 to 4 months in advance. So most of the videos that you'll probably watch is a video that I filmed. Okay, now we are in May, and I took a short stint of a break, which was April. So the last week of April, in fact, the videos that you saw this week were filmed in that stint of a break of mine. And there will be more videos that you are going to be seeing that I continuously batch film. Even today, I was batch filming videos for other weeks to come. Usually, I would like batch film something like 8 to 10 videos a day. If I feel I have some strength, I will go even as far as 15 videos a day. Waking up at 3 in the morning throughout the day, and then just now, I think that maybe the reason why I'm sick is because I did not have enough rest. I don't know. So that's what I do. I batch film so that I never have to worry about videos and sitting down and setting up a camera and then film, edit, and all of that. Everything is done prior. Everything is done prior. So that's a clue as well, or an idea or a tip that I'm giving you in case you also thinking, hey, how to be consistent on YouTube. We've spoken about this anyways, so there's no need for me to regurgitate it. I'm just sharing how my day was. Tomorrow is Sunday. The entire so I'll wake up at 3 tomorrow morning, all the way through until my Sunday live on my main channel, and then come back to this channel. Actually, which one is first? Is this one? No, 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 no. It's my main channel. Then I come to you guys at 7 tomorrow. So I would have done a lot of work. And when I'm done at 8, then it's editing all the way up until I feel like I want to go to bed. All right. So I noticed something. Like I said, I think this live is going to be a little bit short, but I do want to touch on some few of the 5 topics that I said we were going to talk about in this live stream. As you guys can see, the title is 5 Topic Live on Money. Remember, guys, at the start of this live, I said you and I are building wealth. Wealth so much so that it spills over and becomes generational wealth. And some of the things that I'm going to talk about here, it's not necessarily like we're building wealth, but it's more like how to have some kind of financial freedom during the course of the month, each month. You know, how we spend our money, how we save our money, and also the earnings that we get from our salaries, or what do we do as well. We'll talk about how we can double down on paying our credits, paying our mortgage, paying whatever else that needs to be paid, including emergency funds and stuff like that. Basically, the first topic that I want to talk is something I told you guys. I'm not good with budgeting. I I I think I even said that I lost my bank card. I don't know if I shared with you. I lost my bank card. I know it's somewhere in the house, but I'm not quite sure where I put it. Betty will attest to this that sometimes when you grow a little bit older in your 40s, your brain tends to, you literally go to the kitchen. I have to go to the kitchen. When you get there, you're like, I know I came for something here. What is it? So same thing happened with my bank card. I don't know where I put my bank card. But let me tell you something. Me not knowing where my bank card is has saved me a lot of money, because I usually go to a spa not too far away from me to get some like miscellaneous stuff that I don't necessarily need, but because I'm craving, I don't know, ice cream like Magnum, I will hop onto an Uber, and imagine a whole Uber going to buy ice. That's the most expensive ice cream I would get, because it takes money to go to that spot and come in, buy the item, and then order another Uber to bring me back home. So now with the card missing, I have saved myself a lot of money. So, what am I talking about today? I'm talking about frugality. I don't know if you know what is frugality. If you don't know what frugality, let's look it up on Google. You know, we always go to the rabbit hole if we don't know what a certain word means. But I'm sure many of you have already heard about frugality or being frugal. Some people tend to think it means being stingy or being a cheapskate. No, it's not. So basically, the dictionary on Google says sparing or economical as regards money or food. I'm a bit frugal to splash out on designer clothes, as an example. So some people have a tendency of thinking that, oh, you are being stingy, oh, you are just being what do you call this? You are here with your purse, when in fact all you are doing is making things a little bit easier for yourself. For example, you go to I don't know where you shop, whether you shop at Woolworths or ShopRite or Checkers or Pick and Pay or Boxer Superstore, wherever you shop. And then sometimes you find that you have a list of groceries that you need for the household. And then in the trolley, you end up putting things that you don't necessarily need, but because you thought, little Johnny will like this, and then you start taking. Little Patty will love this, and then you start taking. All of that stuff is not on your grocery list. Same thing with yourself. Sometimes I will throw in some chocolate because I got sweet tooth people. I've got a super sweet tooth, by the way. Sometimes I would get like those that Willis cake, you know, that Willis cake, vanilla caramel. There it goes in the trolley, and we did not put it in the grocery list, and it comes home with me. And the worst part about that particular cake, it needs to be eaten right there and there. It's not a matter of days and days sitting in the refrigerator. It needs to be eaten today, because when you put it in the fridge, it does not taste the same anymore, and some of the cream has already collapsed. All of that stuff, all that is something that we should stay away from and become and adopt a frugal lifestyle. So I adopted a frugal lifestyle. I would say I thought I was going to do it the beginning of the year because I'm a little bit ill disciplined when it comes to my money. I kept procrastinating, but as of March, I started a whole frugal lifestyle. So I've got two bank accounts. I have one. Okay, let me not mention the banks. So basically, I got two bank accounts from two different banks. Okay, the other bank account is where my YouTube super thanks, super chats, super stickers, other donations, my Etsy store with my digital products, the money goes there. I don't touch that money. I don't do anything to that money because it has a goal, a huge goal that you probably guys will see later in 2025, probably even early 2026. So I want to save up for that. But let me tell you something. Sometimes I do look at that card with a C. Like I could just walk into the bank and change the regime of what I had, like an embargo that I put on that particular bank account. But now that I've lost this one, I'm looking at this card and I'm like, tomorrow let's go to the bank. But at the same time, like, no, we need to be disciplined with our money. So now, what am I doing now that I don't what I don't do now what I used to do before with my money? So the first thing that I applied for, something that I never used to have. You know these things. I'm sure some of y'all have seen these babies before. I never had this before. These are your money save, not money saving, money get what is it called again? It's like rewards. Like you buy something that is on sale, maybe they'll say buy two of these, and then you would when you swipe with this card, the money is reduced. Things like rewards, and then I have Spa Rewards card as well. And then I have, okay, this one I've always had it. This is the Clicks Club card. It's also for its reward. And then, of course, I have my How Train uh, tab. But, anyways, with this one, it is inevitable. I got to have it. But the thing is, why I am showing you this is that sometimes I would say to myself, okay, let me not buy for the month. Let me not fill in my Caltrain card for the month. Let me probably fill it up for like 2 3 weeks, and maybe I would work from home and things like that. But without thinking that I can still use this card with whatever is left in here some other times as well, instead of now whipping out my card and like refilling my Caltrain card. So now these babies, they are saving me money on here. With the clicks one, I have said, I think I was told that there is about 2,200 rand on this. Anyways, I've had the clicks one forever. So I'm not surprised why it has all that money. And I always say, no, I'm not using it because I want more money to be on this particular card. I know someday when it's rainy days and I can't buy my toiletries and other stuff that I use on my face, because I do also do what do you call this, male grooming of my face and products. Maybe someday I might not get what do you call that, the opportunity. What am I trying to say? Yeah, what I'm trying to say. I will have this card. All I do is just pick up the items, go to the till, and I don't use any bank card, credit card, anything. I just swipe the clicks card, and then I get my things and I go home. So these things, they are now part of my life as a frugal guy. I got this one mid March. I got this one about 4 weeks ago as well. So yeah, it's all good. It's part of my frugality or frugal living. So now usually most of my money, when I use my money, it's my salary. When my salary comes, I always prior my salary, when it comes, there are priorities already. Of course, debit orders will have hit immediately. The money goes through. I know how many debit orders that are going to come out of that. By the time I wake up in the morning, I know how much exactly remains behind, because some of the creditors that I owe money to, some have become very naughty. They will double debit you, or there will be some secret debiting that goes on. And when I look at my bank statement, I'm seeing charges that I have no idea about. So I decided, no, I'm now going to pay you. I will use what do you call this, the app, to now pay you the way as we agreed I am going to pay you. No more way you just debit without me knowing that you also double debited me and things like that. And then it becomes a whole story when they have to reverse or pay you back. They'll tell you about 31 days in some instances. Other instances, they'll tell you about 7 days. Like, I need that money because every cent is allocated to something. And I can't wait for 7 days. I also can't wait for X number, excuse me, X number of days to get the money so that I can able to patch where I need to patch. So that means that there are other things that are going to slack behind, and I'm going to be hit with a default interest. So those are the things that I now I'm taking control of when it comes to my money, because I know I'm not good at budgeting. I'm terrible at it. So I know this is how much is left, and when with this that is left, my groceries X number of rands. Usually my groceries will be like 1,500 rand to 2,000 rand, because I live alone. I get the bare necessities, I get my needs, and then I get probably things that I will dilute, mostly like oros, because since outstanding Ghana taught me, I mean Zamo taught me about sparkling water with oros. When you dilute it, it has this fizzy taste. Instead of me drinking Coca-Cola, now I drink oros diluted with sparkling water. I hated sparkling water because I didn't understand the whole concept of sparkling water before, but now, ah, my favorite when it's mixed with oros. So those are the things that I have to make sure that there's money for all, each and every one of those things. Rent is also the first thing that comes out after debit orders have clicked at night. The reason why I am paying it myself by pushing the what do you call this, the payment via my app, is because they also had the tendency of hitting twice. what do you call this, when they take the rent. I was like, no, 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 I'm not going to pay you. No longer debited. We had a little tug of war about it. I was like, no, this is your mistake. It's not my mistake. Now I'm taking control. So the rent, if you are paying a mortgage, your mortgage must be the first that you pay. But also, let me tell you something. When you become frugal, there are times where there's lots of money that's left behind. When I'm saying lots, I don't mean like lots of money. Maybe money that is unusually left after you paid your debts and all that stuff. You know what you can do with that? You can literally decide to double pay your mortgage. You can literally decide to double pay some credits if you want to, so that you give yourself that ahead of scheduled payment. I know some other places they will penalize you for that, but find out from your creditors, if you pay this way, what will happen. Is there any penalty or things of that nature? But I found with what I owe, the creditors that I owe, they don't have an issue with that. As a matter of fact, they love that I sometimes double pay, so that I get rid of these accounts that I have with me. And another thing that I also make sure that, like I said, my Caltrain card is always filled. That way, I don't have to all the time use my bank card to swipe through Caltrain station. If I had a car, which sometimes I do from my sister, I'll get a car, have money for gas for the entire month instead of buying it in bits and pieces. Maybe have a card, an extra gas card or petrol card, as we call it here in South Africa. And you know that this card, it does multiple things. Sometimes emergencies do happen where when we travel, we go through toll gates. So that card also converted into like toll gate plaza hits as you go running to your emergency. So that is what I find, it saves a lot of money rather than when an emergency comes up and you don't have a cent. Suddenly now you're thinking, oh, my shonisa. Like what do you call them? I don't like the word is it credit sharks they call them? I don't like that word at all. They are people that you go to and borrow money, but when you return the money, you return it with interest. So some people live through those what do you call this? Those loan, yeah, they call them loan sharks. I don't think they are loan sharks. They are people who are also doing the best that they can to put food on the table and feed their families, but at the same time have money or extra money to borrow to anybody that comes to borrow, and then they are able to charge an interest, which is something we're going to talk about in this. I hope we'll talk about it in this live. You see, now I'm starting to twitch. That means my bed is starting to pressurize me, but let's see how far we can go. Let's see how far we can go. Subscriptions as well. Make sure that you get rid of unnecessary subscriptions. I found that I had two. What I had both. What do you call this thing? SEO tools on my subscription. When I looked at my bank statement in March, because I decided to live a frugal lifestyle, I had both vidIQ and TubeBuddy, and they're pretty expensive. So I had to cancel one and remain with one. For almost 2 years, in fact, more than 2 years, I've been paying both vidIQ and TubeBuddy at the same time every single year. I was like, what? I cancel one. And then, of course, I need my Netflix, so it stays. So I would look at subscriptions that I need, that I pay for, that I will not compromise on. Before, these are very, please don't listen to StreamYard. So before I used to pay about 500 and something rand for StreamYard that I used to go live on my true crime channel before. But for months I was not going live, and every month they were taking over 500 rand from my account. So I had to stop that subscription. I'm gonna go back because now I am going live on my main channel, and I'm also going live here. So it's on the plan. In fact, I've run out of time here because I'm using the free version of StreamYard. So I'm gonna upgrade very soon. I do see also a message say upgrade, which I will. It's 20 hours a month that you are given on the free version, in case you didn't know. With StreamYard, I'm not sponsored by StreamYard by mentioning all of this, nor am I sponsored to mention their platform and its subscription fee. And probably the last thing as well that you also need to make sure that you abstract from your salary is your emergency funds. I learned to have emergency funds now that I realize that as a 40 something year old, I wake up with injuries. Like, what on earth are these injuries about? Sadly, I can't walk in the morning, or maybe I have a pain that I don't know where it came from, or what I did during the day, or while I was asleep. So, you need these emergency funds just in case something happens and you are able to rush yourself to the doctor. All right. Now, let's also talk about part of being frugal, being organized, tracing all your expenses. Have like a list of like I said, have a list of your groceries so that you do not add things that are unnecessary on your grocery list. Just stick that on your refrigerator door or your pantry door, whatever it is that you, or even have it on your phone, the stuff that you know this is very very important. So what I've learned over the months is that instead of me buying like per week, let me buy in bigger packs. So I would buy mini meal because I love cooking upu, so I'm Zulu. So instead of buying the 5 kilogram, why don't I buy the 12.5 kilogram and then buy a bucket, put that in, because I would find myself going probably twice, if not three times a month to buy these 5 kilograms, because I'm constantly cooking uput. Another thing that you don't know about me, I love amasi. I don't know how to explain this to my international viewers, but you'll have to visit South Africa so that I can show you what I mean by that. I love eating amasi. I could eat amasi 24 hours, 365 days a week. Apparently, it's a cancer thing, because apparently with Nelson Mandela, he like, oh, so apparently that's it. I think it's a cancer thing. So I would find myself. So instead now I buy 12.5, and this does last me the entire month. The entire month. So I know in my grocery list now I have 2.5 rice. I don't eat rice, but I will have rice in my grocery list. I end up giving it away either to my sister or somebody else that may say, at home we start. I'll be like, oh, come to my place. I'll give you like, and then I go into my pantry and I'm putting these 2.5s, 5 kilograms out of my pantry, and I'm like, what is going on? Why do I have so many rice? Why? Because in my head, I think some of the things is because when I used to do groceries with my mom, these are the things I knew would be in the trolley. So I think maybe as well is upbringing, the stuff that I embedded in my head. Now they'll also get into the trolley when it's unnecessary. So I don't eat rice. Not that I don't eat rice by choice. It's just that I don't find myself cooking rice at any given point of my cooking. You guys have seen on my vlogs, most of the time you see uput rather than seeing rice that being cooked. So there's the receipt right there. So now I no longer buy rice. And then now when I look at my grocery list and then the receipt, the receipt is no longer 2,000 rand or 1,500 rand. I will find myself having spent like 1,200, 1,000, I think last month it was exactly 1,100 rand on the dot. I was like, this frugal life thing is actually working. I don't buy things unnecessarily anymore. I've got stuff in my pantry right now, and I look and I'm like, oh, okay, you were unnecessary. And now I'm beginning to cook and eat them so that it's not something that I waste. So organize your life, organize your pantry, organize your spending by putting a list on the fridge that you know that these are the things that are highly necessary in the household. Whether you have a family or you live alone or you live with your partner, make sure that both of you know exactly what must be included in the grocery list. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Also, if you are people that like your meat, like myself, put money and you know that okay, meat that we are going to buy is so much, and then fill up your freezer with your meat. If you are a vegetarian, your vegetable. I think with vegetarians, it's more like something a fresh produce that they have to get. So this is going to be bi-weekly or by every 3 days. I don't know how your meal plans are set out. So meal planning as well is another thing when you are living a frugal lifestyle. Cook things in batches. That way you do not have to find yourself going into your purse, sending a little your little boy to go buy 50 rand stew pieces. Have all of that in one grocery list. When you do your groceries, you know how big your family is or how much you eat yourself. Okay, going to events. Well, with me, I'm more of a homebody, which is another big advantage to my money. I don't go out. I'm not a person that goes out. Well, I have been going out recently because I have my channel, my other channel. It speaks about South Africa, like the South African lifestyle and people in South Africa, and that has resonated a lot with African Americans who are interested in coming to South Africa either to live or to visit. And in most cases, they will write me an email and say, "Hey, Clantis, I would like to meet up with you. Let's have lunch or let's have dinner." And so we can talk more and whatever it is they want to talk about. In most cases, they want me to sell South Africa to them. And then we end up, and that's where now I find myself going out. I did that a lot in December. I think even in January, I did that a lot. Just 2 weeks ago, I was spending time with an American family as well that wrote me and said, "Listen, would like to meet up with you." In June, I have whole 5 people that I am going to be meeting up with. Again, all of this is going to chip into my frugality. I have to now save up for them when they come. Now at least I know in advance that okay, so much money I need to set up. This money is for a variety of things. Of course, I like to buy my own meals. Sometimes they would insist on paying for my meals, my drinks, and things like that. I like to do things on my own so that it does not be like, oh, South Africans, they expect you to also pay for their meals. And I don't want that. I don't want to misrepresent you guys when I meet with our brothers and sisters coming from the US and other parts of the world that are interested in South Africa and South Africans. So I don't go out. I'm not a person that goes out. I'm a homebody. I just go to that spa. Like I said, it's my favorite spa. It's got everything that I want fresh and and stuff. It's just a little bit, the prices are a little, I mean, this is spa. Of course, spa is not going to be cheap, but I like it. So as long as I got that slash fund that I put aside for the trips to spa, I'm all good. And then I come back home. Oh, another subscription that I did cancel about a year ago is DSTV. This house, I don't watch television anymore. And I used to have the full bouquet of DSTV. And then it was so stupid for me because there were only two channels that I was stuck on 171 and the History Channel. Those are the maybe I will go to Curious Channel if there's something interesting that I liked. And you pay over almost 1,000 rand just watching 3 channels. That did not make sense to me. So I was like, you know what? Goodbye. I canceled that subscription. Over 900 rand I now have in my account that I pay myself. I literally pay myself the DSTV money. And I take that money and I put it part of the slush fund for when I crave Magnum and then I go to Spa and buy myself that Magnum. So that is coming out of my salary, not on the second account. Okay, what else that oh yeah, it's up to you how you set out your own life when it comes to entertainment. Are you a person that goes out every now and again to go eat out, to go sit at these lounges where you are going to spend X number of money, amount of money? My advice would be, excuse me, my advice is forget your card. Don't take your card or credit card with you when you are going to your outing. Rather, what you do is withdraw X amount of money that you know you're going to need. Whether you are going to take an Uber, know how much your Uber from your place to your destination. Know how much your food is going to cost when you get there. Are you eating in a restaurant? Are you eating in the lounge? Or in the, whether it's bar food or whatever the case is, take that amount of money, the exact amount of money you're going to use. Money for tips, please. Whatever you do, people, I beg you, tip people that serve you, especially if they give you the best service. Tip people is very important to me. I do have a conscience if I don't tip. In fact, I don't think I ever forgotten to tip anybody that served me. Sometimes even with bad service, I would find myself tipping at least 10% of what I had spent. Please tip when you go out. Money for drinks, money for whatever else that you are going to be doing with your friends. Because the thing is, to go out, it means you have a life, you have friends, you got people that you meet up with that enjoy your company. But what does that do to your bank account? If you are going to with the whole what do you call this bank card with you or credit card, and then you find yourself not having money around this time of the month, because in South Africa, people like myself were quite careless with the money. Now that I am now a little bit disciplined, I find myself having money right now. I have money right now to very unusual amounts of money from my salary that I'm just sitting there. Like I said, I lost my card. I don't know where I've left it. Trust and believe me, I would have dug into that, especially yesterday when I was craving all kinds of things. So I don't know where it is. It's a good thing. That means I've saved a lot of money for myself. When my salary comes, that money is going to be added onto that. And now I'll have even more unusual amounts of money in my account. Why? Because I lost my card, which I think now has decided to live a frugal lifestyle on its own. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I already mentioned the pantry. Visit your pantry now and again and see what is as depleted or depleting. You know that is going to be part of your grocery, so that the following month you do not have to buy that item. Maybe for the next 2 months. Well, I'm thinking more like, because I live by myself. Most things they finish around the third or fourth month, depending. But these are not things that have expiry dates, of course. If the expiry dates are there, usually those expiry dates will be sometime in 2025 or something like that. What else do we talk about here? Oh yeah, like I said, apply for these cards. These are going to be part and parcel of you saving money and uplifting your frugal lifestyle. I see those two rants. Those two rants, I question them, because they never get a report back. We never get a report back, like where exactly do they go to. But I do pay if I do buy like fast food. If I buy KFC, no, I do pay it. I do pay. But are you saying that is your tip? And Lerato, I also forget to give the children. No, oh, okay. That's not a tip. That's you just giving from the kindness of your heart. What else? Budgeting. Okay, stick to your budget, guys. Just stick to your budget, whatever your budget is. If maybe you think there are some things that can fall off the budget so that you have extra cash, then hey, do it. Me, I'm terrible at budgeting. I'm not even going to spend time on budgeting because I know nothing about budgeting. That is why I am looking for somebody with a digital code from here. I'm not going to buy from anyone else. Put it together and come to me and say, Clantis, I have a budget template. I am selling it. It is 500 Rand. I will buy it from you. Trust and believe me. I will buy because I want to learn how to budget. So now I feel like the frugal lifestyle that I've begun to live is somewhat budgeting, but I want the whole concept of budgeting, knowing that this goes here and this goes there. And this, for me, it's more like general. It's like, oh, okay, it's just general. Nothing is traced as per how the budget would go. Don't speak accounting languages in your what do you call this in your budget template. Make it simple for me to understand. Let the columns make sense to me. Let the notes where I write make sense to me. Let where I trace how much I spent uh, 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 well explained to me, and how much I am left with in my budget well explained to me. That way, I do not have to crack my head about accountancy. I did sciences at school. Okay. Let's see. The other thing, cook at home, eat at home. It saves a lot of money than going out. Going out, you might find that the money that you're spending by going out is the exact amount of your grocery a month. I've seen people spend 10,000 rand in one night over alcoholic drinks. But anyways, with that one, I can't tell you what to do. Just like I can't tell women not to go and do their hair and their nails and their faces and go for massages and things like that. Those routines that they do on the monthly basis, buying their face beat products and stuff like that. So with men that drink heaps and heaps of money at night, I can't say anything about that, but maybe it's something you also need to think about. That if you took maybe 2,000 rand of the 10,000 and you drank at home, you just drank at home, you saved up 8,000 rand. A lot of money you would have saved up for yourself. Again, I cannot say anything about that one. It's your choice, it's your life. I'm not going to take away your enjoyment and become a party pooper. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk a lot about that. Your bank card, maybe you must be like me, lose your bank card and credit card and find yourself not having accumulated any credits on your credit card and stuff like that. Instead, you'll be left with some money. Let's see. Try to find, if you like entertainment. Back in the day, there used to be the Johannesburg Museum that was in Mary Fitzgerald Square. It was free entrance. Now these days, I'm not quite sure what's free out there. Looks like everything that you, oh gosh, thinking about event. Tell me why I did not see the advert about Joe Thomas coming to South Africa, and now I'm watching people's shorts being at Joe's concert. You guys are cruel. I love Joe. I want to sing Little Good Girls. I want to sing all of that stuff, but you see what I mean? Probably it's a good thing. Probably it's a good thing. Frugality, people. Frugality. Maybe the gods of frugality were like, don't tell Clantis about Joe. And now I'm seeing shorts about Joe, people singing along. I'm singing along and I'm like, oh, why wasn't I out there? But it's a good thing. Part of saving. What else that I need to? Oh, yeah. If you don't know how to cook, teach yourself how to cook. Teach yourself how to cook. Here on YouTube, we have small recipes. She will show you how to whip up whatever it is that you want to learn. If you have a piece of land in your house, like in the backyard, try to plant fruits and vegetables. If you don't know anything about gardening, we have on YouTube Gardening with Betty K. She will show you and teach you about gardening and what you should plant this time of the year or this particular season, and what you need to plant so that at the end you sow what you planted. Okay, and that also saves you money for vegetables, money for fruits, money for herbs, and all of that stuff that you add when you are cooking. So that piece of land, try and cultivate it, and then plow some few things, and then plant your produce on the land. Sometimes even people that live in apartments, that sometimes the rooftop is open space. You can go and speak to your caretaker. I think the US people call them janitors, and say, you know what, can I have this space? I want to plant some produce, and then have a greenhouse on top of the roof for all the fruit and vegetables that you utilize for your meals. Okay, that is another way of cutting off the vegetable budget in your money or on your money. All right. What else that we need to cover? Thrifting. It's winter in South Africa, and don't think anybody dresses up to impress anybody in winter. So nobody will know that what you bought is a second-hand t-shirt or second-hand jersey or jacket just to keep yourself warm during the winters. With just 190 rand, which is I think is $10, you can come home with bags and bags of clothes that you bought from a thrift store. My sister loved thrifting. She will go down to small streets as well as wanderers, and she will thrift some really, really nice stuff for winter. And sometimes she'll say, "Hey, I bought you this." Me thinking, "Oh, wow, my sister went into Santon and bought." She bought it at a thrift store. Those clothes that they lie on the floor at is it Vomarans? Not Vomarans, Wanderers. That's where I find out that they were bought there and they were pre-owned. But hey, I will still wear them because they're great, and I am warm during the winter nights. So those are the other stuff. Instead of walking into an Edgar's or walking into Mr. Price. By the way, one of the things that I do wear is I don't wear expensive stuff. I wear from your Mr. Price, your Pep stores, your yeah, those sort of stores. That's where I buy my clothes. Why? Because they're cheaper. Instead of going into Edgar's on Truwords and Markham's, and then it gets higher with the pricing and the name and all that sort of stuff. I go to the ones that are cheaper. For me, as long as my body is covered, I'm all good. I'm all good. Doesn't matter how much that is going to cost me. So thrifting is going to save you a lot of money. At some point when you no longer need those things, guess what you can do, which is a part of frugal living or frugal lifestyle, is by giving away. The power of giving away is so liberating because it makes you feel good as a human being when you take what you no longer need and give to somebody else that may be in need. Like all the thrifted winter clothes, of course, when you walk into summer, you're not going to need them. And definitely you're not going to need them the following year because as human beings, we also change with our body and the body of the shape of our bodies and things like that. Just give that away. That way, you always have fresher stuff that you bought at a lower price. I'm not saying now go to expensive stores to wear summer clothes. Probably the last one is no, I'm done with the first one, which is frugal lifestyle. So I was going to talk about the secret African money saving method. I saw somebody saying, "Hey, I want to learn about the secret African money saving method or scheme." I'm like, you know it, Stockfells, Oma Shonisa. These are the stuff that you can get yourself involved in. But let's talk about that, guys, tomorrow because I feel like this Stockfell thing it does need its own live stream. The reason why I am a big favor, let me just give you a background why I wanted to talk about Stockfells and Oma Shonisa. Oma Shonisa basically like the people that loan you money and then you have to pay it with interest, almost like how a bank works. Stockfell, in case you don't know, I see we do have an American in the house, Cynthia R. Thank you so much for being here, Cynthia. So basically, a Stockfell is a mini bank. It is a saving, it's a money saving club where a group of people come together and then they put X amount of money into this saving scheme. In most cases, it is informal. That is why it is secret because back in the apartheid days, black people were not necessarily. No, I don't know if they were allowed or not allowed to have bank accounts and bank in the bank. So as a result of that, black people opened or created their own secret mini banks called Stockfells. And so I'm part of quite a few of them, but I've reduced the number since I think now I'm part of four. But back in the day, I would be involved in like 12 of them. And the reason why I was involved in all of them is because I'm single. I don't have many responsibilities. Yes, there's also black tax that I used to be responsible for, but I got myself involved in all kinds of stuff for the black tax. Like this, I would get myself involved in grocery stock files. I would get myself involved in meat stock files. I'll get myself involved in rotational stock files. But those rotational ones, I only did them at work, and I did not want us to be any more than three people. And we used to put in 1,000 rand each person. I know that with the three of us, we will at least earn how many times a year? 3 or 4 times a year, 3,000 rand. That to me was good for me. And then I will get myself involved for school fees, stock files, school clothes, school uniforms, stock files. There were a variety of them. So come end of the year, and then there's dividends. That we take our dividends. I know all of this is going to my black tax responsibilities for Christmas, for New Year's, for school, all of the stuff that I so that I don't keep getting phone calls. Hey, hey, so and so needs shoes for. Hey, hey, so and so needs school jersey for. Hey, hey, so and so needs sporting clothes. All of that, I've done stock files for them, and then they all get what needs to be gotten. Christmas, no child comes and cry, oh malume, meaning uncle. Uncle, I don't have this toy. Da, da, da. I always find out in advance what is the most popular toy for 2024, and then I know that that money is gonna come out of a stock fair, and I get those popular toys because kids, they can be seriously be a headache, especially when their friends have that popular toy and they don't. And the last thing that you want is looking at your nephews and nieces, and you're like, gosh, okay, let's go to town. Instead, you just take that money from the stock fair, and you actually, in the list, you mention those toys and say, get these toys, because I don't want to have like an addendum for me now to dig from my pocket and buy these sort of toys. So stock fails, they do help. We are going to talk about stock fails tomorrow properly. How you can get yourself involved in one or two or three, depending on the money that you have, and what also you should encourage your stock fail to do so that you guys don't only put money but also invest in other stuff where you will have more money that you'll be getting in dividends at the end of the year, and other business opportunities that your stock file can get yourself involved in. Same goes with Omashonisa, how you yourself you can become Omashonisa. You can even register yourself as an accredited loan, whatever they call, and make money out of that, because you know how it's like, especially with us people, we do in some cases around this time of the month, when things in the household are starting to dwindle, we go to Umashonis and say, hey, I'm here to loan X amount of money. And then you go, and either maybe for transportation, sometimes it may be for something else. I never want people to depend on Omashonisa. Omashonisa, for somebody that is not a South African, is this word that I don't like. They are called loan sharks. They put an interest of how much you are going to borrow from the money. Is it borrow land? Yeah, one of those two. So I want to talk about that and how you can do it the right way. I know people that are doing it the right way and they are benefiting that way. Same goes with the people that come to them when they need money from them. It's a healthy relationship between Umashonisa and the clients. There's no confiscating of IDs, which is against the law. There is no confiscation of this and confiscation of that, and so that you pay them by force at the end of the month, whatever the case might be, like withholding your card, your bank card, or your credit card, or whatever it is that they hold from people. We will talk a healthy way of becoming Umashonis. You can actually become Umashonisa with just 100 rand, just 100 rand, and grow that 100 rand into thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of rands. all going to depend on your medulla oblongata, how smart you are with this type of business. So we'll talk about that. But before I go, let me read your comments because I'm not going to ignore your comments. I just wanted to get this out of the way because woo, what's happening in my belly right now? I'm on fire. I'm even sweating. It's a little chilly outside today. It is winter after all, but I'm sweating because I'm withholding things. Betty K says, "Hi, friend. How are you? How are you, Betty K?" I was just telling everybody that if they want to learn about gardening, they should come to your channel, Gardening with Betty K. This is our other channel. This is a vlogging channel. Please help her out with watch time there as well. She really, really is fighting watch time. Her hours are dropping because she created the channel early 2023. I think January 2023, and it's still not monetized yet. Help her out, please, guys. Refilo says, "Hello, family. How are you, business partner?" With a Refilo way. It's good to see you. Marka says, "Hi, business partners. How are you, business partner?" Casey says, "We here. What's up, business partner? Thank you so much for being here. I loved your Instagram photo yesterday. It was so beautiful. Puluku, love you too, girl. What's up? Today I'm not picking on you." Then we have Princess who says, "Hey, business partners, much love. What's up, Princess and business partner? How are you doing? My Wi Fi is not working. I'll watch the replay with my night owl." All right, that's cool. I don't know why our Wi Fi sometimes is dancing. There's no load shedding. So it's quite interesting as well. Why sometimes in your mind it bounces about and they're like, no load shedding. Because that's the excuse they will tell us. Okay, let me wipe myself. Betty K says, "OH, my friend, is not nice. Nah, my knees are a problem." And you kneel a lot because you have to plant plants in your garden. My goodness. There was a time where I had to cut out a certain ingredient when I cooked because I was doing an investigation. There was a time where whenever I kneeled down or maybe bent my knees, there will be this sound. People, you have no idea. Growing old. Literally like on my knees. And I was like, okay, what's the problem? I know sometimes salty stuff does have a tendency. You see, Norox, I no longer put Norox in my cooking. So when I stopped, suddenly my knees no longer do the sound. And when I was younger, I mean, I grew up on Norox, guys. I don't know what is Norox with my South African audience. I have no idea what Norox is. It's like some cube that is seasoned but very salty as well. It comes in different flavors: beef, chicken, whatever, and whatever. That's what we call Norox here, but I think that's the name of the company that does it. Casey says, "I'm also trying to figure out this budgeting thing." Ooh, Casey, I mean, I also don't get it. I'm better with money and I save, but budgeting is a problem. The irony of the irony of it. Lindani, hi Lindani, how are you doing? How are you doing, Lindani, business partner? Good to see you here. Lucas says, "Yeah, we know frugality." I'm glad you do. Sometimes I know a lot of people know what frugality is, but some people may not necessarily know. Those are the ones that I was aiming that to and reading the definition to as well. I would not patronize you like that. Absolutely not. And then we have Betty K who says, "I'm like that, my friend." Oh, okay. Good, good. Lerato says, "Also, don't forget to give for 2 Rand Hope at KFC." I do give it. I do, even though I still need some kind of a report as to where this money is exactly going to. I have the people that they say is going to really exist. They never disclosed all of that. And how much do they make a year? I don't see a report on that, because they do blatantly ask us if we would like to donate. And then, yeah, cool. But now, where is the report of all of that? Is what our and how and whose lives has these two rands have improved or changed or whatever the case is? Do they pay school fees, university tuitions, textbooks, whatever? I want to know all of those things when I donate some money. It doesn't matter how much it is. And for a company like KFC not to disclose is scandalous. Benny K says, "Oh, buy them off-season clothes." Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. That is because they're a little bit cheaper. So with me as well, before winter begins, I always go for the heater. You see the heater? The heater is much cheaper. I'm buying for family now. It's much cheaper in summer versus when it's about to be winter or winter where the prices are tripled or quadrupled. You're absolutely right. Off-season clothes are very cheap. If you want to get cheap summer clothes, go buy them now. They are at some kind of a sale or some kind of promotion. Get them while they are still cheap. The ghost lady says, "Hi, business partner. What's up, business partner? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming through." Now, guys, I have got to go. Yeah, my body is now literally fighting me back, and I have to get back and sort myself out. Thank you all so much for listening to me. I thought this was going to be a 15-minute long live. Well, we did make it to an hour. Guys, I love y'all very much, and I really mean that. I thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow when we talk about Stockfels and Omar Shonisa, how you can participate and build generational wealth out of that. That is what we are all about on this channel: is to teach us and those as well that may not be as privileged as others may be to come and learn. All right. The reason why I do this, guys, is not to offend anybody. Sometimes YouTube is very sensitive when we mention color. So when I do this, you know what I'm talking about. When I do this, you must know what I'm talking about. So I don't want to find myself in situations with YouTube. So when we do things like that, just know it's improvising. It's not to offend anybody. Don't be offended. If I say these people, or I say these people, it's not an offense. It's me improvising. All right, guys, I think I've over explained myself. Let's see each other again tomorrow. Ciao, much love.